Communication would not be successful until we get to that point of you communicate with me and I'm able to understand what my actions, how it made you feel.
Yeah.
And I am not only listening to tackle what you are saying. Empathy and kindness should not be thrown in the bin because you guys have misunderstanding.
My people.
Hi.
We bring you back again. The remix. No, sorry, scratch that.
Hi, stop that.
How are you guys doing? It's good to be back on the channel. Trust you're fine. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is lifing very well. It's good to be back. Alright, so today we have come with another banger and we'll be looking at the topic healthy communication in relationship. Healthy communication in relationship. You know that oftentimes it's been said that communication is the bedrock of any relationship, right? There's a sender and there's a receiver. But oftentimes, because of the situations around our relationships, we get carried away with the noise, so that you have your perspectives and it influences how you receive communication, right? Because sometimes you might be odd, sometimes you might have mood swings, and your partner or your friend is saying something to you, but you tend to interpret it in the way that you understand, right? Of course, the sender has the leverage to, he has the right to communicate effectively, but then the understanding is left to us.
Yeah.
So we're looking at how we can have healthy relationship, healthy communications in our relationship so that we work towards getting better. What do you have to say to this?
Okay, so to go deeper into the conversation, I would love to talk about the importance of clear emphasis on clear communication. You know, like a lot of times, like what I said, that we can get to a point in our relationships, in our marriages, that we feel like, oh, this person, we are actually communicating or we are talking, but I'm actually not hearing what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I am sitting down to actually listen and I'm also not listening. I am at that point of, if you say anything, I'm ready to give you basketballs. Like, I'm ready to defend myself as per se, I be lawyer.
Well, yeah.
So I'm not a lawyer, I'm just like stating an example. So like, I feel like for communication to really be effective, we need to get to that point of listening to understand where the other person is where the other person is coming from. Communication would not be successful until we get to that point of you communicate with me and I'm able to understand what my actions, how it made you feel.
Yeah.
And I am not only listening to tackle what you are saying to prove my own point. Like, I feel like another thing I would say is communication would only be effective when I am not after driving my own point home and not giving you the closure that you need, or letting you understand that as much as I have my own point, or I have my own take on this particular matter, your feelings are actually valid.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what so many of our relationships and marriage actually lack. Like, many of us communicate, but we don't communicate to understand the other person's perspective. And that's why we would always like come back to the same issue, like revisit the same issue. So I feel like clear communication is very, very important.
All right, so one of the systems that we have put in place recently to ensure that we have a clear understanding of what we are saying to each other is that we have said that we would pause to ask, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, take 10 seconds, like explain to me that you understand what I have said to you, right? So I'm watching a movie currently and I read in a newsletter and I noticed that in the movie, the husband, I'm watching Ozark, right? And during one of the episodes, the husband calls the wife to tell her, to instruct her on something. And he says to her, and he realized that from what he said to her, she didn't understand what he said. So he told her, can you repeat what I told you now? And she repeated everything that he told her to do, right? So to him, for her to recite what he had told her, and prove to him that he understood what he said to her. So we need to come to that place of saying, to ask questions, right? Do not be afraid to ask questions. Are you saying that I should do this? No, you say no, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm implying, because it has to be clear.
Yeah.
Right? But so that you avoid cases of you coming back
Yes, that's it.
to talk about. I mean, we've had our fair share of this. That's why we are sharing, right? Because we tend to come back to the same matter. But I thought we talked about this yesterday, right? We talked about this like 2 hours ago, because it was never resolved. It was not clear enough.
Yeah.
And so he will say, "Oh, so I get what you are saying now." So it meant that the person understood what I said. So learn to ask questions, even in the face of instructions, right? So you say, "Oh, do this." Are you saying that this is what I should do? To ensure that you fully understand, because if you are going to execute what the person had said to you, particularly for people that are career driven, right? If you don't ask the right questions, you will do the wrong thing, and when you do the wrong thing, you tend to be seen as incompetent. So, as much as you can, ask questions, ensure that you have understood what was clearly communicated to you.
So
right?
another thing I would say is, I feel like even in marriage, I feel like regardless, some people will say, "Oh, when you get married, you can't have your space," or blah blah blah, or the person always. I feel like even in marriage, there are still boundaries.
Yeah.
Like there are things that I'll say, "No, babe, I don't like it when you do this to me," or "Babe, I don't like it when you say this to me," or "I don't mean my husband will say, don't shout at me when you are talking to me." Like even if you're angry, the moment you shout at me, guy, forget it. I'm not listening to you. I'm not hearing. Like don't yell at me when you want to communicate with me. Like, so that's like a boundary that even friends, I don't like it when you raise your voice, when you shout at me. Like communicate, like not they shout, calm down, don't shout at me. So that's one boundary. I'm just using that as an example. Like set boundaries. I feel like when you set boundaries, you are helping the person understand you. You are helping the person understand where you are coming from. You are helping the person understand the things that might cause issues, and when you set those boundaries, they are able to follow, and you guys it will help you guys, like it will save you guys from unnecessary argument or misunderstanding, because now you understand that, oh, I can't talk to Dami this way. I understand that, oh, I cannot talk to Wale this way, or I cannot say this. Oh, these are the things they complain about. Oh, I don't like Dami, I don't like it when you speak to me in such manner. Now I understand that, okay, he doesn't like this, he doesn't like that. So when you let your partner understand the things that you can take. Let them understand your boundaries. Let them know that this thing, I don't like it. I don't like when you do this. I don't like when people do this to me. And I feel like that would actually like save you guys from so many things that might want to come up.
Well, so I'm going to say that another way that you can help set boundaries, or one of the things that you can do to help set boundaries, is as little as, can we talk about this some other time, or can we pick this up in the next couple of minutes? Because at that moment you don't want to do things that will be hurtful, right? So helping you to have a clear perspective of the situation. Take 5. Let's talk about this later, when you are both settled and ready to talk about it, right? Because it helps you to handle the matter well. And this is in the place of conflict resolution, actually, in communicating how you feel if your partner has hurt you or something.
Thank you. On the final point, like I think navigating your expectations, like sitting down to actually like discuss your expectations, like this is what I want. And I feel like at that point where I'll say, oh, regardless of either we have misunderstanding or be kind to me. Like I expect that regardless of what is going on, regardless of the situation, be kind. That's like a rule in our house. If like let us be having the hottest argument or the worst misunderstanding, kindness you cannot bargain that kindness. Like even if you do your act of kindness, squeezing your face and shooting your mouth to the front, you have to show empathy to your partner, because you cannot say, oh, because you guys are angry at yourself. Like you have to, so we've communicated that already. So I feel like that's why many people have these issues in their marriage and their relationship, because they've not said it. Like, so people, the moment they are fighting, if like fall in the bedroom, they're not going to stand up.
How low?
And that is actually very bad. It's terrible. But we've communicated. So even sometimes when probably I'm upset, if they bring lights and maybe he's sleeping, I will charge his phone for him, because that's what I will do on a normal day if we're not having misunderstanding. So empathy, you cannot throw empathy in the dustbin because people are fighting. So you have to like really communicate well. You have to communicate everything, anything you can communicate. Like, so I was just saying, when it comes to communication, you have to empathize with your partner. Like, regardless, they will tell you your partner is not the enemy. The devil is the enemy. So even if you guys are having misunderstanding, always know that your partner is not the enemy. So when you are communicating, don't communicate with the intention of hurting them. Don't communicate with the intention of I am blunt.
Yeah.
Empathy and kindness should not be thrown in the bin because you guys have misunderstanding.
All right. So I'll balance that by saying that you also need to be aware that expectations can evolve, right? So I expect you to do this, do that, be kind, be good, empathize, and the rest of it. Know that these things can evolve, right? Don't shout at me and the rest of it. Whatever things that you have said, it can evolve. That's why you have to have a sit down. That's why you need to have regular sit down checks, right? So about this matter, what's up? Are we still good? Is it still the same boundary that we are setting? So that your partner has grown past some things and you are still feeling like, oh, this is what my partner still thinks about it, like that, right? So regardless of whatever boundaries you have set with yourselves in your marriage, your relationships, understand that those things can evolve, right? By virtue of growth, by virtue of situations and experiences, they can change, right? How you address in-laws, all those things, who comes to your house, how you welcome guests, all those things can change, right? So I'm just using that example. So the expectations that you have set for yourselves, but they can evolve. So how do you ensure that you don't have you're not divided, kind of? Is that you have regular sit downs to talk about it, right? So that's it.
Yeah, we hope this video has been helpful to you. We hope you've taken one or two things home. So if you have been struggling with communication in your relationship, this even applies to friendship too. So yours might not even be in your romantic relationship or in your marriage. It might be with your friend. We hope this video has been able to like at least help you like put things in place to actually become better when it comes to communicating. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget calm down. Don't forget to subscribe, like, drop a comment. We want to hear from you. What are you struggling with communicating? Are you guilty as charged?
Or do you have other areas that you can have healthy communication?
We want to hear from you in the comment section. Until we see you in our next video. Bye.